Welcome to the Torrent Is Top 10, the show where Michael and I choose a topic, decide our own top 5, and then combine them to make the Torrent Is Top 10 list. Our topic today, best TV villains of all time. Now before we get into things, we must first predict what each other's top 5 will be, so let's start with Michael.
Hey guys, it's Michael Overdos and I'm here to take you through Dando's top 5 TV villains of all time. As usual, in no particular order, 5 through 2. I believe he's going to have Joffrey Baratheon, first of his name, King of the Seven Kingdoms. Now, even though in Game of Thrones Ramsay Bolton is clearly a worse person than fucking Joffrey, everyone seems to have their knickers in a twist about how bad Joffrey is, so I'm assuming Dando will be the same. I've got the Governor, and I'm just using basic reasoning here. When he put up the page on the Facebook, he used the Governor. So it'd be silly not to put him there. I think he's going to have Walter White. I hope he's going to have Walter White, because I had to take Walter White off my list for someone much more deserving who's totally not on Power Rangers. And he's number 1 and 2. I know there are only going to be one of these, but I'm just kind of covering my bets because I've been losing a lot lately. So I've put down Mr. Burns and Sideshow Bob. He'll have one, he won't have both. I don't know which way he'll go. I feel like Mr. Burns is better, but then when I looked online, a lot of places said Sideshow Bob. So let's see what he thinks I'll have.
Hey guys, Dando here to give you Michael's top 5 TV villains of all time. Now, Michael and I, we do watch shows that are quite similar, but I have no idea. He likes other shows that I haven't really got into yet that I should get to in the very near future. So my theory for picking these villains for Michael was, if these were shows that I know he likes, I just went and found the main villain, and they are my guesses. So I think Michael's top 5 are going to be Vernon from Oz. Apparently he is a pretty scary dude. I also think he's going to have Al from Deadwood. Stringer Bell from The Wire. I know Stringer Bell is awesome, so he'll definitely be on Michael's list because The Wire is like one of the best shows of all time. I also think he's going to have Ben from Lost. Lost is another one of those shows that I never even really bothered taking the time to check it out. It didn't really look like it interested me, and plus Michael spoiled the ending for me on a previous episode of the top 10. So I think you'll have Ben from Lost. But Michael's number 1 is going to be none other than from the show Smallville. You guessed it, Lex Luthor. Michael loves Lex Luthor. This is guaranteed to be his number 1. There's no way he won't put Lex. Any chance he gets the chance to put Lex as his number 1 in the top 10, he will do it. So Lex Luthor will be Michael's number 1. There is top 5 TV villains of all time. Let's see how I go this week. Welcome to the Torrent Is Top 10 TV villains of all time. I'm Dando. This is
Michael.
Just Michael this week again.
Just Michael.
What was last week?
Vibrating phone.
Always vibrating.
Always.
Is it your missus?
Every day I'm vibrating.
Thanks to everyone that watched last week's episode. What was last week's episode?
Action movies?
Action movies. That was good. That was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
I enjoyed that, yeah.
Also, thanks to everyone that liked us on Facebook this week and entered the Facebook competition. So if you entered the draw, your name's going to be in the aggro bucket. And throughout the episode, Michael's going to draw out a $30 gift card for one of our official sponsors, being Pop Culture Superstore.
Pop Culture. Australia's home for all things pop culture.
That's. I guess that's right.
Yeah.
Also, our other sponsor is 80stees.com. Links to their stores will be in the description of this video. Want to get into it?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's do it. Number 5, Michael. What is your number 5?
My number 5 comes from The Wire. And it is Stringer Bell.
Stringer Bell.
Played by Idris Elba. Stringer Bell is a really interesting character. He goes to like...
P.S. My number 5, Stringer Bell.
Are you... Really?
Yes, legit.
I didn't have that on your list. Did you have that on my list?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know you'd seen The Wire.
I've up to season 3, and that's why he's not higher on my list, because I don't know how bad he actually gets. But he's... Why? Well, you say why he's on your list first.
Okay, so the thing I love about Stringer Bell... Wow. He does some bad stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how far you're in.
I'm up to season 3, so basically, right now...
But orchestrating...
By the way, you're going to have a lot of spoilers for TV shows in this, so if you don't... We'll say the person's name. If you don't know who it is, it's probably spoiling a show. But
just disappear.
Right, I'm up to the point where him and Avon are butting heads because Avon's old school and he wants to learn and bring in. Like,
I love that.
Avon's like, let's get our corners back, and Stringer's like, you don't need to.
And Stringer's just like, I go to night school, man. I study economics.
Yeah.
He's so.
He's just massive spoiler that he's just told 2 episodes ago. Told Avon that he was the one that got the hit on D.
Okay, so they know that.
Yeah.
Okay. I just, there's something about Stringer Bell. He just has this confidence, right? Like, he's going to night school about economics, and he's like, fucking Donald Trump up in this.
Like, and not only that, he screws the guy's missus and then puts a hit on him.
Yes. Terrible.
I know, right?
Terrible.
He went to because this guy's in prison.
The brother.
No, the nephew.
Yeah, they're all brothers.
Yeah. Copying a 20-year sentence so that Stringer and Avon, Stringer, isn't in prison.
Yes.
So he's copping it. So he's going to the guy's in prison's wife, or his girlfriend, goes to her house and just to see how she's going, sleeps with her, then puts a hit out on the guy that's in prison.
Then he's like, he's weak. So yeah, has him killed.
No, he was not going to tell.
He wasn't going to tell anyone shit.
No.
But sometimes you just got to cover your bases.
Yeah.
So I love Stringer.
Fine.
Yeah, Stringer. That was my first introduction to Idris Elba as well, and fuck, that guy has some range, man.
I know, right? He's a great. You introduced me to him.
Yeah,
you had him as your top actor.
Yeah, he's amazing.
It sort of concerns me though that you have him as your number 5. I would have thought he gets a lot more badass as the show goes on. Because I'm only up to season 3. There's 5 seasons.
See, I see. We've said that spoilers for them. I don't want to do
don't
spoilers
spoil it
for you.
Okay, yeah.
So
anyway, so number 5 for us, Stringer Bell. Number 4.
Okay, so I'm already 1 point down, so I got to go down obscure
street.
You didn't
pick for me, did you?
I didn't pick it for you.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Ball. You can't possibly have Ball.
No, what show?
Ball is one of the Goa'uld from Stargate, the original series. Stargate
One of the
SG-1.
Goa'uld?
The Goa'uld.
But I was going to just have that as a race. Like they called.
I
thought they called the Gould.
The Goa'uld.
Yeah, but
There's there's a thingo in there.
That's who Tilk is, yeah.
No, Tilk is a Jafar.
Oh.
Tilk has a Goa'uld symbiote in his stomach.
I know who they are. I'm envisioning it. I just thought Tilk
The
was
Goa'uld are the ones that pretend that they're gods.
They're the main bad guys. Yeah,
they're the ones
I was going to pick them. Yeah,
they're the ones that pretend that they're gods. The Jafar are their soldiers. The Jafar house the Goa'uld's young in their stomachs, which also give them regenerative powers. Anyway, so all of the Goa'uld, they have god names from all Greek mythology, Egyptian mythology predominantly. Baal is one of those gods, and the reason that I really like him is you see him, when you first see him, he's not even a system lord, which will mean something to Stargate people. But he eventually, he climbs the ranks, he gains more power, and then as all of the other Goa'uld fall around him to the other evil stuff in the galaxy, like the bloody replicators and the Ori, Baal is the last Goa'uld standing. He's the last of the system lords, and it's really good. One of the movies actually is all about fucking time travel, and there's thousands of him.
The Continuum?
I think so, because there's 2.
Yeah.
Continuum and one that's not Continuum.
Starts with you, doesn't it? Stargate. No, that's Bourne.
Ultimatum. The Stargate.
Anyway,
Ultimate.
doesn't matter.
Anyway, Baal. You see him as a little guy, and then he becomes the last of the big guys, and I enjoy that growth.
My number 4 is Christopher Pelant. Do you know who that is? From the TV show Bones. You ever watch Bones?
I have watched Bones.
Because they had a killer on the earlier seasons that was a story arc over about a season or so called The Gravedigger.
Yep.
And the chick who played The Gravedigger was actually from The Wire. She's the red-headed lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, but this Christopher Pelant, he spanned over about 2 or 3 seasons, and his backstory is basically he was a murderer in his teenage years.
Yep.
But because he's such a good computer hacker, he always changes his identity into in the government systems so that he can control. He always hacks into the government system so he can control security around the city, and he always knows what's going on.
I think I'm familiar.
He's a young guy from Austin Powers, had the mole in his face. It's that actor.
Okay.
You know, he goes Molly.
Yeah.
It's that guy. There.
Okay, yeah.
But he's just badass, man. Like he wanted to get into a certain uni, and the teacher wasn't going to let him, so he killed her, hacked into the system, and made it out like she actually gave him a recommendation and changed his identity.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
And this is how awesome it was. When he killed her, he striked her with something, a small item, and he was really fat.
Yep.
But then he lost heaps of weight,
Yep.
so they couldn't figure out that it was him. Because on his record, he's skinny. Because what he did was he hacked into his high school yearbook, changed his photo till he's skinny.
Yeah.
So a skinny guy could not possibly have done this. So
Wow.
So they don't even look for him.
Yeah.
And he's constantly changing his identity. They actually think that he was an Egyptian. And in one episode, Booth, who was the guy from Angel, what's his name?
David Bourne.
Yeah. He actually gets him, he shoots him, he blows a chunk of his face off. This guy breaks into a veterinary clinic and stitches his face back together.
Ooh.
He's bad fucking ass, man.
Yeah, okay, cool. I do really enjoy Bones.
Season 7, I think, is when he first came into it. And
Is season 7 before or after they are married?
Now, this is another thing he did. He used to just fuck with him because he hated him. I can't
Yeah.
remember what it was why he didn't like him. I can't remember the main reason, but he said to Booth, if you don't tell, what's her name, Bones, that you don't want to marry her anymore, that you can't marry her, I'm going to kill a new person every single day, and it's going to be on you.
Wow.
So Booth has to then say to Bones, look, I don't want to marry you anymore, and he can't tell her why, otherwise he'll keep killing people. Another thing, Hodgins, you know Hodgins?
Yeah.
He was a millionaire, had all this money, I think he got it, inherited it. This guy hacked a drone in Afghanistan and threatened to kill thousands of kids in Afghanistan unless he let them draw out all the money from his bank account.
Jesus.
Awesome.
See, I think this is right around, I stopped watching, I jumped off Bones.
I don't watch
and
Bones
on
anymore either.
to Castle.
Okay.
So that's
I've yet to get into Castle, but Pelant was the last storyline that I was interested in Bones. Once, obviously, they got rid of him.
Yeah.
I won't tell you how.
Dead.
Yeah. Once he was gone, I lost interest. That was a really good story arc, and they got rid of it. So,
Yeah, cool.
Christopher Pelant, my number 4. Number 3.
You will definitely know my number 3. Mm-hmm. It is Vern Schillinger. Yes. Do you have him on my list?
Yes, I do. 100%.
Yeah.
I can
Of course. Vern Schillinger, the most...
I don't even watch Oz, and I knew that at the end of this list.
I really need to be careful about how I say this.
He controls the white guys, I know that.
Vern Schillinger is the most likable Nazi in TV history. So he runs the Aryan Brotherhood inside of the Oz Maximum Security Correctional.
I still have to watch that show. I've only seen bits of it.
It's the best show. Like, if you're into like man-on-man sex, it's a good show.
I just remember the guy biting off another guy's dick.
Yeah, the unpleasant things happen. Unpleasant things happen, and if you watch Oz, you get to see a lot of the people in Law and Order naked.
What?
Yeah, a lot of
Women or
actors that went to... But both.
Really?
Yeah.
Which women?
The woman that was on Criminal Intent, she was in Oz.
Okay.
And you saw her naked. Christopher Maloney, who played the main lead in SVU, you saw him naked.
The guy with the bald head?
Yep. You saw him naked.
I don't watch Oz anymore.
All the time. You see him naked all the time. He was the gayest of all the gays
Really?
in that show. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Vern Schillinger...
And he was like the complete opposite on SVU. He was
Yeah.
the alpha male. Yeah.
Oh, he was alpha in this as well. Like, he'd fuck you in the ass and break your neck. No, really, he would.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, Vern Schillinger, you introduced to him through the eyes of one of the new people into the prison, a guy called Tobias Beecher. And he's like, I'll take care of you, don't worry. You don't want to be in that cell with that black person. They're animals. And then later that night, he's using a lighter and a biro to put a swastika into Tobias Beecher's bum. Yeah. And then it goes, lots of bad things happen, but you never really hate Vern. And that's what I like in a villain. I don't want to hate my villains. I kind of want to be like, I like you, but then again, you're a horrible Nazi that kills people based on the colour of their skin, so I'm not going to admit to that until I have a camera in front of me. Vern Schillinger.
My number 3 falls under the same category. He's not a Nazi.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
And some I think you've probably definitely got him on the list. For me, many people would argue that he's not even the villain of the show. But he is 100% a villain. Because to me, a villain is someone that knows the difference between good and bad and still does bad if it benefits them. That's what I define a villain.
Yeah.
It's Walter White.
Did I put him on your list?
I thought that would be a pretty obvious one.
Yeah. I did. When I took him off my list, I put him on your list.
A couple of people I left off my list thinking that you'd have him on yours.
Yeah.
But a string of bell I had to have on mine.
String-a-ding-ding.
Walter White, 100% a villain. This guy, he starts off as a nice guy, but he murders people for his own benefit. Mm-hmm. And many people may argue, a couple of guys at work today were saying, oh yeah, but he was only doing it to raise money for his family. No.
So?
He was at the start, but then it got to a point where he just wanted more money because as he admits in the final episode, spoiler alert, he says, I liked it. I was good at it.
But even if he is only doing these things to make money for his family,
killing people.
You're still not a good person.
He's responsible for people dying. Like he ran people over. He let a girl choke on her own vomit. That's not killing her, I guess. But is that considered murder?
I imagine it would be.
So if I walked into a room and someone was choking, I didn't help them, that's murdering them, or is it manslaughter? Anyway, he lets a chick die. He lets her because it means that it's kind of like Stringer Bell putting the hit on D.
Probably negligible homicide.
It's like Stringer putting the hit on D.
Yeah.
He's just like, I want that person out of my hair. I'm just going to let them die.
Let them die.
Yeah.
Makes it easy
Like,
for me.
he didn't have to do anything. She killed herself because she overdosed on drugs and choked. But anyway, and he just completely fucks up his family's life. His brother-in-law, the cop. Mm-hmm. Like, this guy knows that this brother-in-law, the cop Hank, his life is in danger by looking for him. Like, he's sitting right next to him. But he doesn't once admit that it's him.
What about the kid with the poisonous plant?
And but is that it was Walter's fault, wasn't it?
It was Walter.
Yeah.
He made him think that it was ricin.
Yes.
The ricin that he didn't give to Gus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, he's a bad person. I know everyone keeps telling me, no, Gus is the main villain on that show.
You know, I was looking at some
Like
lists.
Gus is a villain. I've no doubt about it.
He's not the main villain.
No.
Like, what does Gus do that's even that bad?
He-
Like, he tries to have Jesse
he
killed.
does slit a guy's throat with a, what's it called? A Stanley knife.
Okay, yeah, but if we're talking about death counts, that doesn't even
Oh,
come
no.
close.
Yeah, no, yeah. No, Walter White is responsible. Like, and look at all the people he kills at the end. Obviously, for the benefit of his own family, fucking blah, blah, blah. And he's no. It was to get Jesse free, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So he did do good
No, I
deeds.
think it was to kill Jesse.
No. Because he jumped and knocks Jesse to the ground.
No, but I think his plan was to kill Jesse until he saw what they'd done to him, and then he felt sorry for
I
them.
don't think so. No, I don't think so.
I think
Maybe. I'll have to go back and watch.
Yeah.
Anyway, bad man, Walter White.
Yeah.
So my number 3 is Walter. Number 2, and usually at number 2 is where we do the pop culture aggro bucket draw. Facebook.com/torrent. This link's in the description of the video if you want to enter next week's draw.
Yeah.
Right, so who's the winner of this week?
No, that's the wrong side. I don't...
Toby.
Is it Toby or is it Sonny? Who's the real person? So it's either Sonny Bennett with Toby Arnott or Toby Arnott with Sonny Bennett.
I think Toby Arnott's the person.
I'll have a look at the comments and I'll find out.
Okay, congratulations to Sonny or Toby. You are a winner of a $30 pop culture.
Toby Arnott, I've got it. It's here. Toby Arnott, and it's Sonny Bennett from E Street. I don't know what E Street is.
Doesn't matter, he's won $30.
$30
in the form of pop culture merchandise.
Pop culture. Yeah, I got that.
So contact us via the Facebook page, facebook.com/torrent this, and we will send that card out to you in the mail ASAP.
Excellent.
Thanks everybody that entered next week's draw. Now number 2, Michael.
Number 2. My number 2.
Yes.
Make my monster grow.
What's that?
It's Rita from
Really?
the Power Rangers, man.
Cool, I didn't even think of her.
Yeah, like, so Rita terrorized my childhood.
Yeah.
She was always throwing these weird looking, like, remember how they had that engineer who basically engineered her monsters?
Out of clay.
Out of clay, yeah. And then they'd go down, they'd fight the Power Rangers, and they'd beat the Power Rangers up, but then the Power Rangers...
I got a headache.
And then the Power Rangers would get, like, a new weapon or something. They always get a new weapon every episode. And then they'd beat him up, and then Rita would be like, make my monster grow!
And then, she'd throw it all the way to Earth.
Yeah, exactly. The best. Rita was a perfect villain as well. She's all the way up in her... Was the moon a prison?
Pardon?
Was she, like, she's on the moon, right?
Yeah.
Was that a prison?
No, it wasn't a prison. She just has her lair on
Did
the moon.
Zordon, like, trap her on the moon or some nonsense?
No, she was trapped in a... when
And then she gets out.
and goes back to her lair.
Goes back to her lair on the moon.
Yeah.
And then she lets out... What about that guy who's just a giant brain? A giant muscly brain.
Oh, you mean Lord Zed?
Lord Zed.
They get married.
Amazing!
Yeah. Apparently Rita is still in the show.
She should be. And it should be the same actress.
I think she went away and then came back or something. I was reading up on it.
Yeah. Of all the Power Ranger villains that I'm aware of, and this one's just a complete shout out to childhood villains.
Pudgy Pig? Pudgy Pig's my favourite. I don't know why.
What's Pudgy
He was the
Pig?
pig that just ate everything. He was like one of the monsters.
Oh, he's a one-off monster.
yeah.
Okay. They don't even have names.
You mean the putties?
Yeah, the putties. Imagine having that on your job.
Yeah.
Your
I was a
resume.
putty.
I was a putty. But yes, Rita she tormented the Power Rangers all through my childhood, and I'm a better person for it. So, Rita.
Yeah, number 2. My number 2 is also from a kid's show. Mm-hmm. It's Mr. Burns.
Yes, I have Mr. Burns.
Yeah, I thought you'd have him on the list.
of course.
How could you have Mr. Burns? He's one of those evil men you can never see on
Yeah.
television.
I thought he would be your number 1, to be honest.
I thought about it, and then I thought about the things that my number 1... Remember I was telling you it was hard to pick?
Yeah.
And whilst Mr. Burns has done many, many things, I mean, he has wiped out marine life in the name of recycling. That's
Yes.
the name one thing.
Yeah.
Mr. Burns he's actually killed people, I think, Mr. Burns, has he not?
I feel like he definitely...
Like, he sent people down to the hole of nothing. He doesn't know where it goes.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
He gets legit pleasure out of seeing people.
And I'm pretty sure he shoots people at times.
Well, he's going to block out the sun. If that's not the biggest supervillain thing of all time, I don't know what it is. Who wants to block out the sun? Anyway, he's just a bad person. He got given money from a young age. He's always had money. He's never known anything else. And he's not nice to anybody, even Smithers, who is like his worshipper.
Yeah.
He's just a cruel old man who just wants nothing but more money, even though he has every bit of it in the world.
I saw the episode the other day where he replaces everyone on his workforce with robots except for Homer. He even fires Smithers.
Oh, I do remember that. I love... He's a guy who has no... Because I work in a factory. He has no, like, care for health and safety regulations.
No, not at all.
I love the episode where they're having to gut Mr. Burns for health and safety, and then a duck walks by.
Yes, the duck!
Get back to work, Stuart! That's so good.
The best.
Oh, so Mr. Burns is my number 2.
Okay, that's a good... Yeah. Did you think about Sideshow Bob at all?
I did.
Yeah.
And Mr. Burns is way more evil. Okay. Sideshow Bob just wants to keep trying to kill Bart.
And Krusty sometimes.
Yeah, but he's terrible at it.
What about that time that he tried to blow up a dam? That would wipe
out
all of
That wasn't him, no, that was Cecil, his brother. Sideshow Bob saved
that's right,
them.
they weren't in it together, were they?
Yeah, he saved them in the end,
Yeah. I'd say I put them both on your list because I knew you were going to have one.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to hedge my bet.
Yeah. No, Sideshow Bob, I honestly didn't... I saw him, thought about it for a second and went, nah, Mr. Burns.
Yeah, cool.
So my number 2 is Mr. Burns. It's 2 apiece at the moment. We'll come down to our number 1s.
Tiebreaker.
I don't think you're going to have my number 1. If you do, I'll be very impressed. And it's not like an obscure one or anything.
Okay.
You go first.
I'll
tell you what I think your number 1 is.
Okay.
Is it Lex Luthor?
No. Damn it. From Smallville?
Yeah.
No, I hated him.
Okay.
My number 1 is...
Crowley.
From Supernatural.
Yeah, I didn't think of it.
I love Crowley from Supernatural. He goes from being... And this is what I like when a villain's not just, hey, I'm here, I'm a villain. Like Gus Fring, right?
Yeah.
He was just like, hey, I'm here, I'm a villain, no character progression. He's just the same villain the whole way
It doesn't
through.
even do anything.
Yeah. Whereas Crowley, you've got this huge arc. He starts out as a crossroads demon, then he becomes the king of hell.
The crossroads thing. Oh, okay.
Like you go down to the crossroads, you make a wish, and
you
sell your soul. Yep. Then he becomes the king of hell when Lucifer dies. Then he bloody gets blood injected into him to the point where he gets his humanity back, and then you find out that his mother's a witch and she's still alive.
Is he a bad person? Is he a villain? Like, what makes him a villain?
He's the king of hell. He's a demon.
So he's a bad person.
He's a demon. Yeah. But he's one of those demons that he often helps out our boys, the Winchesters, because it behooves his interests.
Yep.
I love Crowley. There's something... The actor that plays him, man... Like, are you familiar with Supernatural?
I was going to say, I don't know enough about Supernatural to contest this.
The way he...
Just looking at that, though, he looks like... the dude from Firefly, Jane. What's his name?
No, he actually is from Firefly. He's Badger.
Which one is... Oh, Badger.
Yes.
Okay.
Same actor.
Yeah.
But he just... The way he walks, the way he talks, he's got this voice that's like... It's English. And like there's something that makes English people such good bad guys. And... there's 10 seasons.
Yeah, they just hate the accent, don't they?
Yeah. There is 10 seasons of Supernatural. And
10 seasons?
Yes. Wow. And it's still going.
Seriously?
Yes. They've gone from hunting demons to now they kill angels. Like, they're the spectrum.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're at all interested in anything off our list, I would definitely go and look at Supernatural and just watch the character progression of Crowley, because for a show that's probably aimed at teenage girls, it's got very good character progression.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. My number 1, you can have a guess at the character. It's from Sons of Anarchy.
Clay Morrow?
No.
The main guy?
No. It's Gemma.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen... Now, you'll only get
I've only seen season 1.
Oh, you won't get it.
No.
I can't spoil the show for you.
No, you can. I don't care.
Okay, well, if you haven't seen Sons of Anarchy and you plan to watch it, don't watch the next
Oh, I know what you're talking about. She kills thingos because of the drugs?
No. What she does is the whole... I've never hated a character on a TV show more than I hated that fucking woman. I watched season 7. The whole purpose that Sons of Anarchy fans watch Sons of Anarchy season 7 was to see her get her comeuppance.
Okay.
So basically what happens is, at the end of season 6, you know Tara?
The nurse.
Yes, right.
Yep.
Tara and Jax have 2 kids by this point.
Wow.
Oh, no. The one kid and the other kid is now adopted by her. So he has a kid with the drug missus.
Okay.
And then she's
the
adopted mother.
Yep.
Kind of thing. So, and the plan is for Jax to turn himself in, spend a few years in prison, get out, and then get away from the club and move away with Tara and live happily ever after.
Yep.
Gemma gets the messages misconstrued and thinks that Tara's going to dob in the club in return for, what's the word when you get protected?
Protective custody?
Something like that, right? So she thinks
immunity.
Immunity, yeah. She's going to turn in the club, basically. Yep. So Gemma breaks into Tara's house.
How does she get that idea, though?
Because Tara threatens to do it. And then Jax meets up with because she runs away with the kids.
Yeah.
And Jax is like, "Where's my kids?" And he's like, "Where's Tara?" And she's hit the bolt with the kids. And Gemma's cracks the shits because she's run away with these kids and didn't tell him.
Yeah.
And then she didn't realize that Jax and Tara had settled their dispute away from her.
Yeah.
Like Gemma didn't realize. And Jax has agreed to turn himself in for the benefit of the club and his family. But Gemma didn't hear that. She thinks that Tara's just fucked off with the kids and going to dog the club. So she breaks into a house, turns it around, and stabs her in the back of the head with the forks he put into roasts.
Oh, wow.
And kills her and leaves her dead. Yeah. Right. Season 7 is about how it starts off episode 1 of season 7. They're at a club with the Chinese. They're trying to work out a deal. They're at Sons of Anarchy and the Chinese. She spots a guy and says, "I saw him leaving Tara's house the night she got murdered."
Why?
Because she doesn't want Jax to know that she did it.
So she'd rather start a gang war.
So hundreds of people die in season 7, and Jax ends up having to sacrifice himself at the end, all because of her fucking lie that she wouldn't own up to it. So she lets this guy, she knowingly lures him to Jax's house. They're waiting there. They tie him to a chair and torture him for hours because he thinks that he killed his wife.
Yeah.
And then Jax stabs him in the top of the head with the fucking fork and rips his head open like that. Fucking people from Sons of Anarchy get kidnapped by other gangs, by the Chinese and everything, and get their eyes pulled out, and all this shit happens because Gemma told a fucking lie, and it gets more and more fucking obscure, and eventually gets to the point where what happened was when she killed Tara, one of the guys who was on the run from the club, who was hiding with Gemma, Gemma was keeping him hidden, so that the club couldn't hurt him, saw it, and then he was covering it up for her. Yeah. But then this guy goes to prison and he's on death row and he says to Jax, "Look, your mum killed Tara." Yeah. So then he ends up killing Gemma.
Good.
Yeah, Jax ends up... what happened was that happened in the second last episode.
Yeah.
So the finale felt a bit flat because you were waiting for that moment where he got Gemma.
So...
And the moment when he realised that his mother was the one that killed Tara after all the gang wars that have been happening in season 7, fuck, it was epic. It's actually the kid that ends up dogging her in. Makes Jax go to Juice, the guy in prison, and say, "Tell me what really fucking happened." Because the kid goes, "Is that why Mummy got rid of new? Is that why Grandma got rid of new Mummy so I can spend more time with old Mummy?" And he's like, "What?
Excuse me?"
Yeah, and then he goes to Juice and he goes, "Tell me what fucking really happened." He owns up to it, and then Jax puts a hit on Juice in the prison. He gets his throat slit. Blah blah blah.
Why?
Because he covered it up this whole time with her.
Oh, what a dick.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, so, and then, dude, man, fuck, like, if you watch Sons of Anarchy, Gemma would be in your list. She fucking was, like, the ultimate villain. She killed the mother of her son's children. Yeah. Because she fucking got her messages wrong, and then started a gang war so she can get herself out of it. Yeah. And then, it was like they found out that the guy who she said came out of the thingo was, they found out that he wasn't even in the fucking state at the time. Yeah.
Fuck. But you know what? For someone who was probably in her prime on fucking Married with Children, it's still fuck her.
Oh, she's still pretty hot.
Yeah.
Man. The only thing about her on that show is you see all this makeup and she's all wrinkly here.
Yeah, and she's got that scar.
Yeah. But still oh man, fuck. I used to sit there with Nicola and I would be so angry. I'm like, she fucking did it. She fucking did it.
So when we went with it, like when I went with best villains, I was like the villains I've enjoyed the most, and you were like, people I want dead. It's good. You get both ends.
Yeah. So Gemma Morrow from Sons of Anarchy is my fucking number one villain of all time on TV shows.
Okay, so you know what that means we need to do?
Oh, it's a rock off. Yep. So 1, 2, 3, then go. Rock, paper, scissors, go.
Rock, paper, scissors, go.
Right.
Rock, paper, scissors, go.
Yes!
I read up on them.
rock then rock.
Barely anyone ever throws the same thing they throw is 60% of the time someone will throw what would have beaten it, and 40% of the time they'll throw what would have lost to it. And I was like,
it's almost a 50-50 chance.
I was like, I feel like Dando's a 40% man.
Okay then, so what do you think my top 5 are going to be?
Okay, so I thought your top 5 were going to be, thought you'd have Joffrey Baratheon
From
Game of Thrones.
Nope.
I
heard he's an absolute prick though.
Yeah. I thought you'd have the governor, considering you put the picture up.
Yeah, but no, see, when I thought TV villains, he instantly came to my head because I've been watching Walking Dead recently. But yeah, he could be. But I kind of feel sorry for the guy.
Okay.
Anyway, continue.
I thought you'd have Walter White.
Yeah, that's one.
And then I put Mr. Burns as your one, and I had Sideshow Bob as well.
Okay.
Because I didn't know which one you'd get.
Right, I had Vernon from Oz.
Yep.
Owl from Deadwood.
Last minute removal. Literally when I left my house, I removed him.
Stringer Bell, The Wire. Ben from Lost.
Also last minute removal, yeah.
And Lex Luthor is number 1.
Lex Luthor is number 1. I almost had, you should get some enjoyment out of this, I almost had Paul Robinson.
From
Neighbours.
I've honestly never ever watched Neighbours.
Oh, Paul Robinson.
Which one? I wouldn't even know if you told me. I'd have never watched it.
You know. You people.
I used to watch Home and Away when I was a kid. That's
Home and Away.
Yeah.
I hated Home and Away.
I used to like
I think you're in two different camps. You're either a Neighbours kid or a Home and Away kid, or a kid that wasn't sucking dick and was like outside
Kate
doing
Ritchie was a
stuff.
teenager when I used to watch it. That's how long ago it was.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway, so who's Paul Robinson? Doesn't matter?
Paul Robinson is like the main bad guy.
Oh, okay.
He's like the bad guy of the street, the businessman who takes it, the lecherous businessman. He's like faking that he's got a leg injury.
So he's the villain.
Yeah, all the time.
He just hasn't kidnapped anyone yet, or he has?
Oh yeah, I don't think Neighbours went as crazy.
Yeah. No. So thanks for watching the Torrent top 10 TV villains of all time. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you didn't agree with our list, or you did agree, just tell us what you would have put in your top 5 as well, or your top 10. People at work have come to me, they're like, you realise it's not a top 10 because you sometimes have the same things. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't care. It's our fucking top 10.
That's it.
That's all that fucking matters.
It's 5 plus 5 makes 10.
Yes. We want to know what you think. So comment below. Also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other shows. And also check out all the past episodes. We've got like about 30 episodes of this show alone on the Torrent TV YouTube channel.
Yeah, what a feat.
Yes.
We've been doing this for 30 weeks.
Over half a year.
That's good.
Yes.
Sticking power.
Yes, that's it. It's not Wednesday this week, but...
Yeah, my apologies.
No, it's not your
V-Line apologises.
Yes. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys. Also, thanks to Pop Culture and 80s Teas.
80s Tea! Yeah.
They're here, I believe. 80s Teas and Pop Culture.
Pop Culture are there?
No, they've moved.
They're all
they
over
be
there.
on the left now.
Are they allowed to be that close to each other?
Yes.
Okay. I heard there was a restraining order.
Any final words, Michael?
Nope.
Fair enough.
I want to break the gimmick. Hey guys, Dando told me to make a video for people that want to see more, and I know what he means. You mean like this? Is that what you want? You want to see some more? Here we go. It's coming off.
What are you doing?
What? You told me to make a video for people that want more.
More videos?
Oh.
What the fuck are you doing?
I thought you meant more of me. Just, alright, hold on. I've got it. Hi guys, just more videos right here. Click this box here. There's another box there. You can click some more videos and make sure you like and subscribe. Like that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, will you delete the other stuff?
Fuck no.